Come on. Hey, everybody, and welcome to your AI generated it's a superhero speak. I'm your host, Dave.
And I couldn't possibly be AI generated because I don't think AI would ever generate a Browns fan, otherwise known as Don.
Unfortunately, yes. Here we go. Football season has started. We are now competing with Sunday Night Football.
Good game tonight, Buffalo Bills versus Baltimore Ravens. I will be watching after we're done. So yeah, let the bloodletting begin.
Yeah. But we're not going to be talking about football tonight. I don't think so.
Nope.
We'll be talking about. Let's see. I got the email right here. Of course, the truth has finally come out about the leaked footage, the Deadpool leaked footage. There's a possible return coming to the MCU in Doomsday that has been rumored for a while and is all but confirmed, I think, at this point. And then there was some D23 news that ended up being fake. And Dragon Con is cracking down on AI artists, and we're all for that. I didn't turn Spidey on. With all that being said, I'll turn him on after I ask this question. We're ready to get going. How are you there, Don? What is new in your world?
Yeah, since Wednesday show, nothing. Been busy just working. Actually, today was my only day off. And of course, got to enjoy some football and some shrimp, which was nice, some pulled pork. So I got to eat some pretty good food today, as well as yesterday when I worked, because I work at a party center banquet hall. So, whatever the guests eat, we get kind of the leftovers, which is always nice.
Yeah.
And that's about as exciting as my life was since Wednesday. What about you, Dave? Anything noteworthy? Funny, interesting?
Well, obviously, okay, a little football talk. The season was kicked off Thursday night by the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles versus one of our conference rivals, the Dallas Cowboys. And I have to say that God stepped in to make sure the Eagles won because I was at the girlfriend's. We weren't watching the game, but I got an Uber home, and the guy who picked me up had the game on the radio, and it was third quarter. Score was 24-21, which was the final score, and Dallas was going down the field. It looked like they were going to score, and the Eagles kept getting penalties, which got them down to the 16-yard line.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched any of the game. And I'm like, typical. The Eagles are back to true form, getting penalties, allowing the other team to move forward. And Prescott, that's the Dallas's quarterback, threw an interception. So they picked it up. They were going to start at the 16-yard line, and then the game was suspended due to lightning.
Yeah,
lightning in the area, and it was suspended for an hour. And anyone who's ever played football or played any kind of sport and what knows that if you have something, that's a killer of the entire momentum of the game. And it's so obvious because when they came back, no one scored after that. They had a whole quarter and a little bit left in the third to play, and just that was the end of the game. The lightning, not the fourth quarter. So I think God was like, nope, they're going to stay the Super Bowl champions a little longer.
Yeah.
And then Kansas City lost, people.
Sorry. Yep. The Chargers beat Kansas City, which is always enjoyable.
In Brazil.
Yeah, in Brazil, which, could be a factor. But still, if the Chiefs stink, that lowers the chance that the camera's going to pan over to Taylor Swift, and an NFL game becomes the
I
trailer trash experience.
I actually have a theory that I'm sure Kansas City Chiefs aren't going to want Chief fans aren't going to want to hear, but I kind of feel that if Travis Kelce and her are engaged, um, that is going to very much be a distraction because they got engaged right before the season started. And anyone that's ever gotten married knows that like wedding plans can be a distraction. And I think I have a theory. I could be wrong. We'll see. They only lost one game so far, but they only played one game. If they start going downhill, the fans are going to turn on the true football fans
You
are.
think they'll
Yeah, they're going to be like, "Don't get her out of here. I don't want her watching."
hate Taylor Swift?
Yep, that's my
Oh,
theory.
okay.
We'll see what happens. I mean, Kansas City could win the rest of their games this season, but as I pointed out to my brother who thought he was funny because he keeps going, Kansas City knows how to do it. I'm like, they lost their last two games.
That's right. They're on a losing streak.
They're on a losing streak. So we shall see. Other than that, nothing much since Wednesday. Just surviving, as it were. Uh, the girlfriend had to take her son back to school again because he decided that, I'm going to come home this weekend. Like last minute said, I'm going to Throngill says Taylor turns into a shrunken head. Um, that's wrong on so many levels, but that's funny.
Yeah.
But like he decided last minute and just like she tells me on Thursday, he's like, yeah, he called and said I'm coming home. I'm gonna be taking the train on Friday, and I was like, oh, which means then he takes the train home, and she's like,
Yeah.
she's thankful for that, but then she's got to drive him up Sunday night, and then she's got to get up for work the next day. So
Yeah, that is a little stinkage there. I mean, is that because there's no train, or is it just like, okay,
well,
save you some money? And
I think it's two issues. One, there's less trains on Sunday, obviously.
yeah,
Which that's understandable, but you just plan around when you got to leave. But the other thing is there's no bus service from the train station to the school on Sunday, so he would have to like take an Uber, and he doesn't like taking Ubers. So I was like, I don't. If it was my kid, I'd be like, I don't care. You decided to come home.
right.
You found a way home. You find your way back to school. But
I'm not disrupting my weekend.
right, exactly. But
supposed to be away at college.
Yes.
Is there some parties that you shouldn't be at that you should be at?
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Why isn't this kid going to more parties on the weekends?
Yeah, man.
He's a junior in college. He should be getting drunk with his friends every weekend.
Drunk, all sorts of things that you should be trying to.
Not coming home to see his girlfriend. I mean, come on.
Oh, he's got a girlfriend back home.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that explains. But anything, it's still on him.
Yes, exactly.
Trying to get trim on the weekend, that's on your dime.
Oh God, yeah. Unfortunately, that's why you find a girl at school, right? I mean,
right, like the whole like I'm going away for college. You're gonna sit here in the original town or whatever. We're still gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, I don't know, man. If you go away for college, you should just cut it loose.
Exactly.
Say, hey, I'll be back in 4 years, and we'll know what's meant to be at that point. But otherwise,
Thrawn's got a good point. Finding your own way at that age is a life experience worth learning. It is. I mean, I've had to do stuff like that. So what are you gonna do? But the other thing that I did do, and we should talk about this. We're all caught up on Peacemaker season 2, episode 3 came out on Thursday, and we watched it. I kind of predicted that, at least the next episode was going to be his adventures in the parallel universe, which that's exactly what that was. I'm trying to think, was there anything? I don't know. Like, they gave you a little bit of information, like apparently his father's possibly cancer, but like it's an offhand comment made by the security guard when he goes to Arcus to see the other universe's hardcore for lunch. So he asks him what were the results of the test, and he said positive, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was hoping it wasn't cancer."
Right, he's unaware.
He is unaware of what's going on with his father. So I don't know. What did you think of the episode overall?
Well, overall, I liked it. Actually, it's my favorite of the bunch so far because we actually get some like superhero stuff, and the raunchiness is turned way down, and even the violence and any gore that is in this episode is kind of like, I mean, if you get hit in the face with an axe, or at least not in the face, like the top of the head with an axe, gonna look a certain way. So for that, I really enjoyed the episode.
Yeah.
There were a couple of nuggets in there. They started off with the alternate dimensions hardcore, I guess, is like best friends with Rick Flag.
I can't.
Best friends with benefits.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Wait. Well, no. That was our Earth. Or the main DC universe.
Our Earth, he's dead.
That was 3 months ago. Did you miss that?
You know what? Now that you mentioned, no, I
or
didn't.
3 years. It says 3 years ago, so that's a flashback right before the Suicide Squad they hooked up.
I see. But they were best friends. Okay.
Yes.
All right, then that makes a lot more sense because then he references, I believe, the Enchantress.
Yes.
They're like boyfriend and girlfriend, but he doesn't break up with her because she's gonna like blow a hole in the earth.
Right.
Which does not quite jive with like how he was acting during that movie. But that's interesting that not only have we've tied in both Suicide Squad movies.
Yeah.
In with this universe. Which
Very
means
weird.
they both happened. Which is weird. Is very weird. But, we learned that right off the bat, though.
Yeah, so...
go ahead.
Yeah, so... And which kind of, like, makes me wonder, is that part of why she doesn't want to have a relationship with him? Because she had a relationship with Flag, and...
he killed Flag.
Him. Right. So...
Yeah.
So...
I mean, there are some interesting angles to this show. Again, now that the... like gore and shit is tuned down, there's a lot of stuff to wonder because like with this alternate universe where everything just seems so perfect, my take is that when we look at his father and his brother, like they're too perfect. Like, thinking they're like pedophiles or some shit. There's got to be something.
There's going to be some dark secret to this world that we're not, that hasn't been revealed yet, but it definitely feels like we're on that path because like they're too perfect. Who are these, like, who's this terrorist group, right? Like they're coming off like they're kind of like freedom fighters, but
someone incompetent because one's like running and he mishandles the explosive, so he's fucking explodes, which fucks up, Chris, aka Peacemaker, and Harcourt for a second there. So yeah, there's that.
I like that. How I suicidally met your mother being in the squad.
Yeah. That's a good one, Thrawn.
That should have been the episode's title. But yeah, like there's definitely something else going on too, right? Because like there's other things I'm noticing too, right? Like,
well, like, okay, notice this here. Let's I'll go meta with you. Like, so the Chris that he killed, or the Peacemaker that he killed, obviously had some sort of drug pill problem,
right?
And then when you look at this squad of 3 people, him, his brother, and his father, why does his father, and his brother have like Iron Man level suits, but he only has a helmet? And I was thinking, like, I think out of the 3, like, he is kind of the shittier one that they don't even trust with that level of like weaponry and shit. I mean, they'll give him his motorcycle, which we saw, this big gaudy look. It was like, if Evil Knievel, motorcycle on steroids and missiles.
It's the peace cycle.
The peace cycle. So there's that aspect as well.
Yeah. And like Hardcore and Flag in the alternate universe are also kind of bumbling a little bit. Like Hardcore, you don't think about it, but I thought about it where, there's the terrorists in the building. In our universe, she would have ran in the building with him to stop them.
Yeah.
But she stands there like the damsel in distress.
Yep.
And of course, Rick Flag Jr. is the office moron who's like sneaking around to see, oh, he's talking to my girl, what's going on, kind of thing, and he knocks over the trash can. Like they make him like a bumbling Clark Kent,
right?
But I don't think he's got an alter ego. So yeah, that was one of the things that caught my eye. Like there's definitely something going on in this universe, and the alternate universe doesn't have an Eagly, and that's just wrong.
Not that we see, right? That is just wrong.
I guarantee that Harley Davidson made a Peacemaker badge cycle. I would not be surprised, Thrawn.
But then where this leaves us off, though, I know, is that Argus back in the original dimension or whatever is sending like a bunch of people to his house. Funny Tim Meadows thing again with he told me it was a duck, and economist is like, I didn't fucking tell you it was a duck. Yeah. But as he is exiting, I don't quite understand why he's exiting this perfect dimension. But as he's doing that, that's where Argus is about to storm his place. He's out of the portal. Also discovered mayhem that's there for I mean, they haven't even shown that, but I'm sure that's what we'll see next episode, where he's stepping through this, see the people that Eagly killed in the house at least, and then have to deal with this freaking raid. So,
and I mean, did you watch after the credits? There's the trailer for next episode, and like they showed
I did not.
Oh, okay. So, they show him and Eagly running out the back door, basically, as they're coming in the front door, and then there's like they're going through the woods, and the I can't think of his name. The guy who's playing the Eagle Hunter.
Because he's the same guy that Yondu, as well as he played in the Suicide Squad, the second one, and he died. The Eagle Hunter. That was funny as shit. That's just funny. Like, who the fuck hunts eagles? Like, it's illegal everywhere.
Right. Hey, Frosty.
Why would somebody ever take up the hobby or skill set of
Michael Rooker? That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Thrawn. I mean,
That was
obviously he's
hilarious.
friends with James Gunn. That's why he's in like everything he does.
Oh, of course. I mean, that's the James Gunn. All right, my wife, you're in it. Oh, my brother, you're in it. You know,
I mean,
yeah,
I
no.
like the. I thought the line was funny. It's like, you're gonna kill Eagly, and he goes, and any other eagle that's in the area, and they're like, no.
That was funny.
Uh,
I'm glad I got reminded of that. Yeah, that was hilarious.
uh, and of course the serpent guy from last season is back as well.
Yes. I can't remember his fucking name, but he's in the green suit and he's always eating the fucking hot Cheetos.
Uh-huh.
And he called economists, what are you, a fat boy or something like that?
Yes.
Which I don't appreciate. I don't appreciate shaming the fat guy with the
Exactly.
beard.
Come on.
So that's why you love to see the character's funny, but you do also love to see him, get punched or kicked in the fucking face.
Judo master.
Judo master, yeah, right. Because he is an a-hole and fat shame. So fuck him. But he is funny.
Yes. So yeah.
This show is funny. Like I said, I'm settling in, and give me an episode where they don't have a porno.
Well, there was still
body dismembering graphically shown.
There were still boobies in the episode.
Well, I could take a little. I mean, hey, who doesn't like a little titties? Like,
and
that's
then
fine.
The kid was a little weird. I love you, Peacemaker. I love you.
All those kids were, but that was funny because even he was like, "Oh, that's weird." Yeah. There's something seriously fucked up in that perfect dimension that he loves.
Yeah. So I'm sure I have mostly him running away from these guys in the woods and whatnot, but then probably the next episode we'll find out what's going on in that other dimension. So we shall see. Of course, we'll keep watching. We'll keep you guys informed as things go on. So yeah, and then real quick, I don't think the numbers have changed much. The box office. Let's see. We have Fantastic Four is at 511.5 million, which is kind of where it was last week. In fact, in looking at the dailies, and it barely made anything over the weekend. So yeah, I think it's done. And then Superman is sitting at 614.1 million, which is I think where it was last week. I don't think it's.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, I think we can put this little bit like in the coffin and shoot it out of the photon torpedo.
Yes.
Of the Enterprise at this point.
Until we get our next movie that we'll keep an eye on. All the California teams won today, Don.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm surrounded by those who are sports privileged. You got Dave, who's like, the Super Bowl defending champions. Like, yep, enjoy that. And then you there in CA. So you've got the Chargers. And I'm going to forget the other team you have there, but I'm got like 2 or 3 other ones.
Yeah, too many.
Well, I don't know. The Raiders moved to Las Vegas. I kind of forget that a lot.
Yeah.
San Francisco
49ers.
Oh, they lost to 1, which look at that. They won like 4 fucking championships in a row back in the 90s. So you're all NFL sports privilege. Check your privilege.
No, I will not.
The goddamn baseball team last time it was a World Series lost to the Cubs. Cubs hadn't won a World Series like over 100 years at that point. Don't move to Cleveland or near Cleveland if you're
okay.
Sports.
Don, you're getting upset. You're going to the dark side. So
I am a little bit.
Let's see what Darth Don has to say about Superhero Speak and where you can find us more.
Darth Don here. And you must subscribe to Superhero Speak if you haven't already. And if you have already, make another account and subscribe again. You also will like this video. And while you're on the HoloNet, go to superheroespeak.com. Find the links to our merch and purchase one of our shirts. Don't skimp on the shipping, or else I will trap you in a box with an agitated gundog named Brie Larson. I would just force lightning you, but we don't have that in the effects budget. Now, back to the show.
All right. So we got a little bit of news to talk about here. The first one, this isn't news. Everyone knew. Everyone knew this. But Ryan Reynolds has finally come clean and admitted he is the one that leaked the Deadpool test footage online all those years ago that got us a Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
So you're the one that brought this article to my attention. You were you shocked at all by him admitting this?
Was I shocked by him admitting it? I guess I wasn't. I mean, I did initially think to myself, like, why would he reveal this? Is there a statute of limitations? But then I thought, oh wait, well, Disney bought Fox, so
Right.
perhaps he's not afraid of that anymore. And at this point, who's going to blame him? Certainly not Fox or Disney, I guess. If they,
Right.
well, he did that, and we got a multiple billion-dollar franchise. So, yeah, you're like, bravo. So, no, it didn't surprise me. What surprised me is how long it took for him to actually
admit
say
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
We've
he was going to
definitely
admit
talked
it.
about this before. Yeah, we've said, oh, he did it. No one's ever questioned it at all.
I thought he was going to admit it when Fox bought Disney, because I thought he was going to come out and go, well, now that I don't have to worry about it anymore, yeah, I'm the one who did it, and he's been asked in interviews multiple times, and he always dodges the question. But EW interviewed him, and he's like, yeah, it was me. And then the other thing that came out, I didn't put this in the articles, but it did come out. So we had talked a little while ago that he had posted a picture. It was the Avengers A with an Anarchy A over it, and everyone took that as like, oh, this is it. He's going to be in the Avengers. And he came out and he was like, I thought it was just a cool picture, and I shared it on social media. Which, come on, I think he shared it, and Disney was like, we didn't want you to say that just yet. And then apparently, on the heels of that information or that comment he made, another insider, these Marvel insiders came out and said that that yes, he's in the movie, but he doesn't have a big role in it. It's more of like a cameo, and he's not going to be part of the Avengers. And it's like, okay, well, if he's in the movie, I can believe that. I can believe he's not part of the Avengers because Deadpool's never been a part of the Avengers in the comics.
Well, not to be that guy, but I will say it was kind of funny, though. It was very brief. It was during an event. Hell, this is like 10 years ago at this point, maybe 8 years ago. It was called Axis, where Red Skull had Professor X's brain. He became Red Onslaught. They had this event called Diversion, where good guys became bad guys, vice versa. And long story short, the Avengers did accept Deadpool as an Avenger for a brief moment. And it was funny because as it happened, he sung a song, I'm an Avenger. I can't believe it's just so it did happen for a brief moment, and he was so happy that he was singing about it. But yeah, it did happen officially.
All right. I did not read that story, but
I know.
But you know what? No one remembers it either.
No, they don't. No one
So
ever talks about Red Onslaught or actually made Sabretooth a good guy for a while, which is pretty popular in the X-Men universe. But he eventually
yeah,
reverted back
of
to the
course,
Maniacal Murderer, which is the best Sabretooth.
yeah. So
I digress.
yeah, but yeah, like that didn't surprise. Like to me, it was like, yeah, duh. Like he'll come in, he'll be a loose cannon for a scene or something, and then that's
Yeah.
it. Like that
I
makes the
mean,
most
he
sense.
still has the TVA device, right?
I would think so. Yeah.
And even Cable may even be a thing because Cable still has a version of time travel, even though they don't do it as cool as they do in the comics. You should be like bodies divide. But anyway,
Yeah. And um that's the other thing I'm thinking too. There's also that sling ring floating around
yep,
that has the space stone and the I can't remember what the other stone was on. Was it time?
yeah, I think
Which allowed her to create portals into other universes. So that still exists somewhere too in the multiverse. So I feel like that's going to play into Doomsday or Secret Wars.
I think a lot's going to play into this whole Doomsday Secret Wars, and I'm very scared that they're going to screw this up. I really am.
Yeah. I don't disagree with your fear because
Yeah.
I don't want them putting all their eggs in one movie and then having it not make sense. Like, Chris Evans coming back.
Yeah.
So he was just seen at a movie premiere, looking very buff, like he's been working out again, and clean shaven. Which of course, as the internet does, thank you, internet. You never let me down.
Yeah.
Led to speculation that meant he's playing Captain America again. He will be in Doomsday. Along those lines, that has been spotted like older cars on one of the sets for Doomsday, which are like
Yeah.
from the 1940s outside of a house set, has led people to speculate that they're going to go, at least we're going to see him with Peggy in the 1940s in the movie. And of course, as the internet does, I saw a couple videos on this on the YouTubes and the TikToks. So like people are saying this, and that is the incursion that's going to cause the end of the multiverse, is him going back in time, so he's not allowed to have his happy end. And I think we even discussed that an episode not that long ago. So
absolutely did.
I mean, what do you think? Do you think he just decided to work out and shave, or do you think he's back?
I think he's back. I think that Marvel has recognized, because like I said, we're both in fear. This is just way too complicated. But it's also true that if they bring Chris Evans Captain America back, they're going to get people excited. They're going to get people talking.
Yeah.
And people are going to love it. I love Chris Evans as Captain America. I think he could be the face of Marvel movies for the next decade still. I'm not sure what goes on in his brain or life that makes him not want to do that. And maybe he has since then changed his mind. Hopefully, because I think he does a great job. And Captain America, Steve Rogers, is just a very important character in a lot of comic storylines.
Yes.
So I think we're getting Hydra Cap. I think we're getting regular Cap. And I think that they're literally passing up a gold mine if they don't do this. But I think they are doing. I think all the evidence points to we're getting Chris Evans Captain America back. And I'm
well, Thrawn says the rumor is 4 characters he's going to play: Cap, Hydra Cap, Nomad, and New Cap, all from, I guess, different universes.
Sure.
Possibly. I mean, I felt like they kind of touched on the Nomad character a little bit in Infinity War,
Infinity
where like
War.
he didn't have
Yeah.
he had ripped the star off his costume. He didn't have the shield anymore. I felt like they were trying to say that was their version of Nomad, but again, they can also do it's multiverse, so they can say here he is in this universe, he's Nomad. In this universe, he was part of Hydra, and they can
Yeah.
get away with throwing all that stuff in, it's making that stew, and you're throwing everything in, seeing what will stick, which has me scared. Like,
I mean, they've done that in the comics though, where they've had various people be Captain America, but then they go through a big storyline where Steve Rogers, comes back. He's the Captain America now, or or at least part of the mix. Maybe he just is Steve Rogers. So,
well,
I think they'll be okay.
well, it's funny because that's one of the most convoluted deaths in um, comic books is when they killed Cap right after Civil War. Which, by the way, I don't know if I know I talked about it on the show before. I met Mark Miller many years ago, and I had a conversation with him about this is before the podcast, unfortunately, so I didn't get him on the show, but I had a conversation with him about Civil War, and I said, so the way that the book ends, where they're fighting and like Cap's just like, oh, there's too much destruction on, and he gives up. I said, was that the original ending? He's like, no, the original ending was Cap was going to die, and that's what was going to cause them to stop fighting, because it's like, oh my god, we killed Captain America fighting over this, which makes a lot more sense than the way that the book ended. But when he presented the story to them, they claimed that they had already had a plan to kill him, and they wanted to kill him in his own book. But I feel like they read that story and went, oh yeah, but let's save to kill him in his own book so we can sell more copies. Not, but of course, then it ended up being that he wasn't a regular gun. It put him in suspended animation.
That old gag,
or whatever. And then, like, of course, he came back.
Somehow Captain America returned.
Yeah, exactly. Somehow Palpatine returned.
Oh, goddamn that line.
So yeah, so it's yeah, you're right. Like, they can easily bring him back, and I don't like. My thing was I get it. The actors get tired and they don't want to keep doing the roles, but at the same time, like, why kill the characters off, or why get rid of them? Like, just
why
have us
pass
believe,
up 20 plus years of consistent gigs,
or just let us believe they're still out there in the universe, and then, like, once every 5 movies they can do a 2-minute cameo, like Bucky walking in Captain America 4 and just having that conversation with Sam, right? Like, they could have that could have been Steve, right? Like, he just came in for one day, did one scene, got paid, probably would want to get the, whatever Chris Evans gets to play a whole movie, he would get a fraction of that, like you negotiate it. But, like, yeah, and then they'll have people go, yeah, Steve's still out there, this idea of, like, they had to kill him off or send him back in time was just like, he didn't deserve a happy ending, because I want him around, damn it.
Yeah. Through his want for marriage and Peggy.
Thrawn says, I just need shots of Peggy in those 40s outfits.
Okay.
Frosty's on your side there, Don. Just bring on the damn X-Men.
Just bring on the damn X-Men.
Maybe. We'll see.
I do. Okay, but, I do like the X-Men Avengers dynamic. And I think Steve Rogers has a lot to do with that. His dialogues with Cyclops. But yeah, bring on the X-Men.
So, speaking of Doomsday and the bouillabaisse of the Marvel Universe right now, them throwing everything in this movie, us not really knowing what's going on, because other than the cast announcement and a couple of um, leaked rumors, we don't really know much like officially about this movie, right? And that's why I brought up this article because it does then lead into our main topic, and that is during D23, which was a couple weeks ago, which is Disney's big convention, as opposed to Comic Con or whatever, and they showed a what you call, I guess you call it like a sizzle reel, where it was clips from other movies, which, I mean, when you do something like that, yeah, it's clips that tie in to what happened. In those scenes are going to probably tie into Doomsday, right? Like they showed Loki sitting on the throne, and there was some line that was played, and then there was, I believe, the line of Tony saying, "If you mess with time, it tends to mess back," from Endgame, and all these things. So like, and it was a big long thing, and I believe there was a clip with the Russo brothers talking about the movie a little bit, and Paul Rudd, I believe, was there, and he was talking about it a little bit. But it was just, the whole idea is, it's just like, we don't have anything to show you yet, so here's this sizzle reel to keep you excited about the idea of Doomsday. But like, rumor was that they showed a trailer, and then someone created an AI trailer that went online, and everyone was believing it was real. And it was everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but it was around for a while on the internet. And like, so the people that were involved with D23 and involved with the panel actually had to come out and say, that's a completely fake trailer. We didn't show it. This is what we showed. And they explained this is a real. And there were people that were there that have backed it up. And it's like, yeah, there was no trailer shown. But we're in this world now where people see AI stuff over and over again. I keep seeing this, and they believe that it's real, and it leads to a very dangerous time. I mean, what do you think about this idea of like, like, I get it, I get creating it for fun, but like people putting it out and saying this is the leaked trailer, like, I don't know, where do you stand on that aspect?
I mean, that aspect of AI is very dangerous when paired with social media, because let's face it, the general populace is very gullible.
Yeah.
I've seen multiple examples of that. One real life example that I've experienced is, I worked at a call center as a supervisor back in the day, and every now and then our operations support would say, hey, we don't have a lot of calls right now, so you could let 5 people go home voluntarily, called VTO. And so as a supervisor, then we would put, hey, we've got VTO slots, who wants them? But we literally had someone that was just a regular agent, like everybody else, put in, the chat, like, hey, 8 slots of VTO. And people jumped on it. And then it's like, I had to type in like, yeah, that's not true. It was a whole big fucking uproar. So people, I say that to say this, people are in general are gullible, myself included. And so when you put something like this online, yeah, there are people that are going to believe it. Whatever you put in this trailer, which could be very damaging to the property, it could hurt the marketing of the property, or whatever's going down. So yeah, obviously I've said in the past on this show that as far as like AI art, I do understand somebody that has really no artistic ability, but they have a story that they want to tell, and they do want to have visuals for it. So they train the AI art to kind of do the work for them. But misrepresenting, where this stuff is coming from is something I will never support.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't, but at the same time, just in general, PSA, the more you know, whatever, knowing's half the battle. you have to do your research on everything that you see on the internet now, because chances are, or it's easy to fake stuff. So unless a trailer comes from the official Marvel YouTube or Twitter or whatever the hell, do your research first. It's probably not real, because yeah, AI is just making the deep fakes and shit way too easy. And again, I support those who use AI, but not those who use it to misrepresent something. That's just straight wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Thrawn says, "You mean that Mystique Milfit was fake? Wish I hadn't recorded that." No, you know what you did, and of course, Frosty
last
agrees.
summer.
People are gullible.
They are,
I
man.
mean, yeah, it's an interesting line, right? And again, I get what you the thing about the tools. We'll get to that in a second, but the fact that these videos pop up, and I guess that's the thing that gets me, isn't so much
Like your
the
average everyday person taking a shit and they're on Facebook, they're not going to do research on the video they just watched.
right,
They're
and
just
that's
going to consume it.
but that's what bugs me is that no one. We live in a world, and I'm trying not to get political at all,
Yeah.
but I feel it's related. No one has critical thinking skills anymore. They see something and they just believe it, and then
Yeah.
And it's just like, come on, like, do a little research into that. I mean, especially today's world, because people just put memes up. There's no explanation behind the meme. There's no details or facts or anything. It's just a meme, and it's just like, yeah, that's true. It's like, what? That's just a picture someone created. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean that's true? And then, now we're in a world where people can go on and to, all these different tools and type in, make a video that shows this, and it'll generate something for them. Fortunately, I do think for higher quality ones, you've got to like use the pay services, so it's not as rampant. But once you can do it on the free ones, it's going to be everywhere, wait for any my wife makes money from memes that people make crypto coins out of. Anyway, that is a thing. Meme stocks as well.
Oh,
But
really?
like, yeah. But I mean, good for her. Let her make all the money she wants. But we need critical thinking people. Like, if you know what, then if we don't start critical thinking now, Terminator's going to come true, and we're all going to be dead. Like, come on. It's not going to be hard for them. They're not going to have to raise one weapon against us. It's going to be, they're going to put memes on the internet and videos that tell us we all have to go jump in the ocean, and everyone that's left will have to rebuild society.
Which, I mean, we've done before. I actually just read something that at one point the humans were down to like 1,300 worldwide, and we came back from that. So, I mean, we can do that, but it'd be great if we didn't have to. So,
exactly.
Yeah, let's be a little bit protective.
Of course, those people can say we got 8 billion people right now, and that's too many. So,
no, and it's a problem, man. We don't birth enough people. Humans are going to be extinct. Like,
well, in the United States,
not long from now,
we're below replacement levels in the United States. So
us, Japan,
Balerto. My son is obsessed with a game called Balerto, which is a poker style game. It makes him think, really think. Well, okay, okay, then maybe there's some hope. But the other problem we have is, things like this. So Dragon Con has made an official stance on AI art, And it's funny because a lot of these conventions
Yeah.
have said that, like, some of them say if you do AI art, you have to be upfront about it. Some have said no AI art. And there was an artist at Dragon Con this past weekend who was selling AI art, claiming it was his art. And he was found out to be an AI artist, and they got a police escort and kicked him out of the building. Um, and then of course people went up to the table and started putting little signs on there like hashtag no AI art and all this stuff. Yes, Thrawn says no AI art at Dragon Con. So like, like this is where I draw the line, right? Like this idea, and I have seen people commenting on stories about AI art, or just people putting posts up about AI art saying, I do AI art, I'm an artist. No, you're not. Like, you're telling a prompt, create something that does this, or that looks like this, and it's creating an image. And they go, oh, but I have to I have to train it, and I have to tell it, several times about, okay. So what you're equivalent to is the guy who goes to an actual artist and says, I'd like a drawing of this. And they do a quick sketch and go, this? No. Can you do Batman's cape a little longer and have him, fighting the Joker? Oh, okay, like this? Yeah, but maybe make the Joker like this.
You're an editor.
Yes, you're an editor. You're not an artist. Right? Like, or you're the equivalent of the manager who hires an artist to do an ad campaign. You're not an artist. You're telling the tool what to create, but you're not an artist. But I've had people like argue, no, there's an art to it. No, there isn't. There isn't. So, and the idea of like to create this and sell it as your own is ridiculous. And look, I'm going to make a confession on this podcast right now. We put a clip out from one of our episodes last week or so when we talked about Cracker Barrel and Taylor Swift, because we were trying to feed into the algorithm. And I said, oh, well, let's clip that, us talking about that stuff as a clip, put it on there. And I used Google Gemini to create an image where I replaced the guy in the Cracker Barrel art with Taylor Swift, and I had it say Taylor Barrel, and that was the art for the clip for the episode, and I used AI to create it. And why did I do that? Because I do create a lot of the artwork that we do on the show when I want to do something special, because I didn't have time. I was busy, and I could do it real quick with AI. So it's a tool. I used it, but I would never take that and like put it on a t-shirt and sell it, because it was something that was done quickly so that I could get the clip done and put it online, So does it have a place? Yes. But is it real art that you should sell? No. I don't know. What
but that's the thing, though. They wouldn't be attempting this if it didn't sell. See, I believe that the market will take care of this. And we're seeing that now. I mean, those who put on Dragon Con, they are making a decision that we're not going to have this in our show. And it makes sense, because if you're going to have AI art in your show, then you're probably not going to attract, or it could hinder you attracting real artists coming to your show. So you're making a business decision. The market is telling you, hey, I got a Dragon Con. I need artists to be here, but I'm going to cause a problem if I let an AI artist be here. That's your right to do so. I have no problem with it. You just got to be honest about it.
Right.
But yeah, that's the way this is going to go. I don't think any AI editor, I want to call them, is going to be welcome, in Artist Alley. They're going to snoop it out, and there's going to be a problem. It may not always be like that. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And I'm just surprised that there's enough of a market for it, though, that it would be attempted.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, here's here's the other thing that kind of gets me is I didn't read the whole article. I did you read the whole article? I don't know what it was art of. Was it just like, you know, image ideas that he created, or were they like pictures of
I
Batman
read
and
it and
Superman?
they didn't mention it. Yeah, they did.
Right.
I read it. They didn't mention exactly what he was AI arting.
Because I mean, I
I
feel like
would
that
have
cross
to think it's something provocative like that, or else how would they even know?
right, because that's my whole thing. If you're gonna cross that line, like to then do it with other people's IP, you know, like superheroes or Harry Potter or whatever is the popular thing of the day, you're really crossing a line, you know,
Yeah.
because again, AI is trained by these AI art tools are trained by scanning images on the internet. So it's scanning images that were, pardon me, that were created by other people. So you're stealing their artwork and compiling it into something different. So it's just like, yeah, no, you know. So I don't think, and it's funny because I don't know if I brought this up before. Um a while ago when I first got into painting, um I was looking at, I kept getting these ads on Facebook and whatnot for these paint by number sets, right? And there were paint by number sets of a whole bunch of different things, but a lot of them had superhero pictures. And when I started looking at them with a critical eye, I realized they were AI generated images that they turned into a paint by number set
Right.
because there was something off about some of the pictures, like you know,
Like three
Spider,
fingers
right, like
or
Spider-Man
yeah.
had too many fingers on a hand, or like Batman it was half missing or something like that. It was just like, and that's also what got me is like someone generated the image and probably had a tool that then took it into a you took the image and then created the paint by number layout like automatically for them, and then they just put it up and sold it, and then they just probably print them as they need them, and it's just like no one was looking at it with a critical eye going, oh, this isn't right.
Yeah.
You know, so like it's just one of those things. It's like it's becoming too much, too rampant, this like use of this.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I only really support one use of AI art, and that would be if somebody like me who has no artistic ability or eye whatsoever, but I want to write a book and I want a cover or I want a couple of comic panels or something or whatever. Um, and if I talk to AI and work with AI to develop an image that I like, and then I say, okay, now animate it to do this and that, I'm personally okay with that. But if I'm working with that AI, if I feed it other people's work and then have it do that, that's bullshit. I don't
Yeah.
support that at all. Just so we're clear.
Yeah. Let's see. Thrawn said, it makes me have to question other artists that are selling stuff that maybe they aren't on the top, on the up and up. Are you drawing this or are you tracing it? Yeah, I didn't even think of that aspect.
I mean,
of it.
just imagine what we'll see, when we go to New York Comic Con in holy shit, less than a month. I just think back, all these fucking people were doing the con duck walk, and some chick, is at a booth, she's got her cleavage out, and she's selling art. Who's going to question, you know?
Right.
So I get
mean,
there has to be somewhat of a policing of this,
Right, because that's what Thrawn just said. He tried to question this guy on 3 separate occasions, and every time he became a complete dick. So why are you selling at cons then? And it's like, yeah, because he probably, I guarantee someone questioned him because he is probably doing AI or something like that, and or stealing stuff, and he doesn't have answers for it, and so he just becomes a jerk so that you'll leave him alone. So other people, but I think that's stupid too, because word like that does spread quick at conventions. If you're being a jerk, people will hear and they'll be like, "Nah, I'm not going to buy from you." So, um, yeah, it's tough out there. Yeah, less than a month as well. Uh, but yeah, like again, you're right. Again, if you're using it as a tool to help you with something, to enhance something else you're working on, again, like me creating a clip, a cover image for a clip. Like, okay, would I have preferred to have had more time to do it myself? Yes, but AI could do it for me in a couple seconds, and it wasn't anything like amazing. This wasn't going to be an image that broke the internet.
Right.
So it was fine for for a pop culture story that's going to disappear. It's already gone. No one's talking about those things anymore. But to create a Batman AI image and then go to a convention and get prints of that and try to sell it to people, for $5 a pop. Like, no, like that's not right, you know. And I've said this before, and I keep wondering, like, this is going to become more and more prevalent, AI art, and it's like, again, Google Gemini. You could just go on your phone, go to Google Gemini, and say, create an image of this, and it'll create something like right there, and it takes a couple seconds. So the more this happens, is that mean cons will start having less people going there to buy art, because they're going to go, well, I could just create that on my phone. What do I need to go buy this image of Batman for?
Either that, or like when you go to register for your booth, you have to meet up with somebody and they say, okay, draw something real quick. Like, I mean, it might get to that point where they just a piece of paper, here's a pen, draw that. Draw me this picture that you said is yours.
Yeah. I mean, because there's always going to be people like us who, appreciate actual art, who are artists who are going to appreciate it, and they're going to not want AI stuff. But there's a growing number of people who don't care, and they might. I mean, you want a specific picture of Batman. What's to stop you from creating it, printing it out, and hanging it on your wall?
The other side of this, though, Dave, and you mentioned it, like with Magic the Gathering, okay? Like, so the economy, things are getting more expensive, and people are definitely using that as an excuse to kind of work around the system. And what I mean by that is, like, Magic, of course, each individual card has a value based off its rarity and how good it is. And so there's a huge debate within the Magic community, because there are players that have been playing for a while, or maybe have more money at their disposal, so they've got these expensive cards. And then there's another contingent that see that as, oh, this is a pay to win thing, so fuck it, we'll just make proxy cards. They're not the actual. I mean, there's companies that don't work with Hasbro and Magic the Gathering that make proxy cards. It's a whole nother undermarket. And people blame, the economy or the cost of these products. So that's just kind of a thing that happens. There's definitely a sizable contingent of people that don't care about authenticity, or they just want to play.
Yeah, I know, and it's getting bigger, and it's scary. Thrawn first played Magic in in 95.
Oh, so you're a newbie, huh? So you're a newbie. It came out a couple years before that, but I was there at the beginning. Yeah.
And the kind of thing is going to trickle down into the people who 3D print figures and start selling them as original. You know what? I agree that's a possibility, but at the same time, I'm like, it takes so long to 3D print something, and it's not as cheap. Yeah, it's not
it is
super
resource.
Expensive.
Yeah,
it's resource heavy. So, like right now, people who 3D print are 3D printing stuff for themselves, or they want to print something simple to sell. Like there's a guy I see on Instagram all the time. He sells these little shelves that you can hang on your wall for putting pop figures on, right? Like that's his whole business. He came up with this little design, and like it's something quick and cheap to print. He can probably mass print a bunch of them, fairly quickly to sell online. But like an action figure is a little more complicated to print, and I think not as cheap, but it's gonna get there. So, Frosty also started around 95. Wow, we're all old.
Back when Sierra Angel was a big deal.
Anyway. I think we'll make that part of our man on the street interviews. We're going to ask people what they think of AI art as we walk around New York Comic Con.
There we go.
We'll try to spot AI artists while we're there. We shall see. So
okay,
all right. Well, on that note, I think it's time to ask that question there, Don.
What did we learn on the show tonight?
What did you learn? Or do you have a recommendation, or both?
No recommendation other than check out Twisted Metal. Also, Walter Goggins was on Saturday Night Live. Funny skits. Quickly becoming a fan of that guy. Outside of that, what I learned today is that even though it's week 1 of the NFL, there's a great NFL game going on right now that I'm going to watch after this. But I learned that it's not so bad. We still have people watching and chatting. So it's not completely killed us.
Yeah, but wait till either A, we have to do it on a Monday night because something comes up on a Sunday, or B, one of their teams is playing on a Sunday night.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. Kassan, who's like, Thrawn Kill, he's a member. He's number 1. But like number 2 is probably Thrawn, or I'm sorry, number 2 is probably Kassan.
Yeah.
His team ain't even playing right now. They already played. They already won.
Yeah.
Quarterback used to be on my team.
He's a big football guy.
But he ain't here. He's watching the game, and his team ain't even in. So it's
going
to be a challenge. Wednesday's going to be the big show, I think, during football season.
Thrawn says, let me check the Raider schedule.
Raider schedule. So that's interesting because Thrawn, I'm not trying to dox you or anything, buddy, but he lives in California, and I think he's alluded to that in chat.
Yeah.
But following the Raiders, who moved from California to Las Vegas, so it seems like you're still hanging on to your fandom there. That's interesting. I just always wondered if people, in Oakland or wherever the hell they were last time, because they went from Oakland to LA, bing, 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 back and forth. I don't remember.
It was Oakland, LA, Oakland, I think.
Yeah. So it looks like they still got that fan base, though. That's cool.
I learned that we're all going to die. AI is going to kill us all because we're all gullible. That's just,
I mean, listen, you're right. We're gullible, and they're going to create the AI sex bots, and that's the end of it.
That's what's going to happen. They're going to create the AI sex bots, and so all of these young men that just live in their parents' basement are just going to buy a sex bot, and we won't reproduce anymore, and we'll just be done. Yeah, because they're going to give the sex bots away for free.
That sadly is probably not wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be ordering mine, but that's a whole nother story. Yeah, and I do have a recommendation. My show's back. The Great British Baking Show premiered this week on Netflix. Episode 1 is available for your viewing pleasure. If you want to watch some wholesome TV that is reality TV, but there's not people, backstabbing each other. They're just people baking, and someone gets Star Baker every week, and someone gets eliminated every week. and it's just a lot of fun. Good, wholesome, clean fun. Go check it out. But that's all I got. Yeah. So on that note, boys and girls, as always, thanks for watching. Don't let your cape caught in the door. See you next time.
If you haven't done so yet, subscribe. It really keeps this podcast alive. Smash the like button if you please. It gives us what we need. Maybe leave a comment or two. It's a really nice thing to do. And what are you waiting for? Visit our merch store.